everybody. So, thank you for bearing with the technology of this situation. Facebook is challenging me and Maya, but we will not be undeterred. As in, we are determined. So, if you're watching, please say hi. And Maya, if you... I need to invite you, don't I? Let me see how I do that. Allow viewers to request to join you on video. Yes. Bring them on video. Okay, it says... Ugh. Should be adding you, Maya. Yay! We did it! We're here in the group. Yay, 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 yay. Okay. So we're here. Can you hear me, Maya?
Yes, I can.
I don't know why your volume is very low. Try.
Oh no. Let's try that. Is it better?
No.
Oh dear. We are so technologically cute today.
So I've got my volume to max, and you're very vaguely far away. Let me just message in the group while you fix that.
I think you were quite low as well on our second live stream today. So maybe just give it a moment or two. Maybe it will go back to being okay. I wonder if everyone can hear me.
Oh yes, now I hear you better.
Yeah.
What did you just do?
Nothing. I just waited.
Oh, now it went away again. Oh Lord. Okay, I think we need a hardcore blue diamond clearing right now because there's something messing with us, and we asked the dolphins to help us and to clear everything. Oh, you're so far away. I can hardly hear you.
I don't know why. I have no idea.
I could hear you fine before. You're just gonna have to speak really loudly.
I'm gonna shout.
Oh man.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe
Why?
it's your internet.
No idea.
So for those of you watching us live, please tell us you're here and please let us know if you can hear us okay, both of us. I know that Frances was trying to watch. She was like, where are you? Okay.
Yes, it's been quite challenging. Is my audio still really bad, or?
For me it is. And it's weird because I know I've got my volume up, I just keep checking it.
Well, I can leave and try and come back.
Scared of letting you do that.
We've been trying for 20 minutes, guys. 20 minutes. This is our third live. We are so determined to talk to you.
So at least I can see us in the group. Let me tag Frances so she knows we're here. Except not if we're going to start again, though.
Okay, I will. Maybe
I need you to leave and come back because I literally can't hear you. So there's no point doing this interview.
Okay.
I'm going to remove you. Don't leave as such. I'm going to remove you.
Okay, remove me.
Okay, now I'm going to bring you on video again. I'm sending you an invitation. Let's make it work. Please, please, Blue Diamond. Please, dolphins. Hearing interference.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, it's still the same volume.
I have no idea why. I really don't know. Everything is on loud.
That's better. Whatever you just did sounded better for a moment.
I really did nothing. I did nothing.
It's weird.
Oh, we have one person on the live. Maybe you can tell us if you can hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. All I did is I pressed the button to reduce the volume, and now I can hear you. What the actual fuck? Okay, sorry for my swearing. There's some definite interference going on.
Well, I love that side of your room. I've never seen it. Got some pretty things in there.
Oh, maybe I should sit over there. Let me sit so you can see that. Okay. What have we got? Pretty things. We got a pretty lamp, we got a pretty vision board, and we got a pretty plan.
Ah, beautiful.
We also have a lot of things. hanging on my desk. But that's all right. Okay.
We are here.
We're here. Let me. I'm so happy to hear you, by the way. It was awful not hearing you. It was like you were muffled, like someone had suppressed your voice, which, let's face it, is what we've both had to deal with in our lives, learning how to liberate our true, authentic voices and clearing the blocks in the way, right?
Yes.
So I want to tag Frances on this live stream because I know she's looking for us. Frances, are you one of the people watching us or not?
I think no one's here right now, actually.
Everyone is here, Maya. The universe is here. Okay.
Okay.
So, welcome everybody to our interactive podcast chat with Maya and Sabrina. Maya, why don't you introduce yourself and then I will do the same.
Yeah, of course. So I feel like you should hopefully know me by now. I've been here for 2 weeks, coming and going. But I know Facebook algorithms are very interesting as we are learning. So my name is Maya, and I'm a yoga teacher, a breathwork facilitator. I host retreats, as many of you in this group do. But where my heart truly is with the dolphins. This is where I host multiple retreats a year. Wild dolphins, of course, in beautiful Egypt. So yeah, that is me in a nutshell. I mean, there's so much more to say, and I think we will get into it during the live. But yeah, this is me.
Definitely. There's so much more to you than a few words and a profession. I keep changing my glasses because I'm like, can I see without them? But not right now. Great. Thank you, Maya. And I'm Sabrina, and I'm a counseling psychologist, a shamanic healer. I work multidimensionally. I connected with the New Earth grids. I work with the grids to change the quality of the consciousness and frequency on this planet. And I'm passionate about helping Gaia and the Earth, and we are the extension of her on this evolutionary transition and evolutionary leap that I feel we're in as humanity. So that's me.
Wow, we're so good. We're nailing this introductions in 30 seconds now.
And I just saw something pop up, like some kind of notification, but I don't know what that was. Francis liked my comment. That must mean that they are watching. Someone is watching.
Yeah.
I can see, hang on, someone's commented, has mentioned us. Okay, we'll just see. We'll see where people end up. So,
Great.
thank you for bearing with us with the tech. Where shall we dive in, Maya? Francis, I still can't see it, but you're commenting on it. You have to be seeing it. Deborah is watching. Hello. I'm just replying
I
to
think
Francis.
whoever is here is clearly supposed to be here on this live, and if you're watching the replay, please let us know that you're also watching the replay and the video has reached you.
I got a yawn on that. I don't know what that means, but yes. So my yawns are my yes, for those of you who haven't heard me yawn before. And it's also me clearing energy. Deborah says hello.
Hi,
Deborah, we're so
Deborah.
excited to have a live viewer. Oh my God, like seriously. You win a prize just for being here and making it here through all the challenges. The heroine's journey of getting to this live stream. Thank you, Deborah. Okay. So why don't you tell me something cool about you, Maya?
Yeah, okay. Right. Something cool about me. I wrote a book.
Oh my God, you
Um,
did.
it's a book that I actually channeled. It was very interesting time of my life. I just finished my degree at University of Surrey, and as soon as I graduated, I went to India and I became a yoga teacher and completely forgot about my degree. And when I came back to the UK, I started to teach yoga right away. but I, of course, didn't have enough clients, enough classes running throughout the week, so I had to get a part-time job. So I became a postie. I was working for Royal Mail, delivering
So
letters.
cute. You were activating the grid throughout. Where were you living at that point?
I was in Hertfordshire.
Oh my God. So Hertfordshire was getting blessed by Maya's energy floating from door to door. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was me. Because it allowed me to, work 8 to 12, and then evenings I could teach yoga, and I didn't have that pressure. I just wanted to teach from the heart and not stress. Am I making, ends meet with my classes? That wasn't about that. So Royal Mail was paying my wages and yoga was fulfilling my heart. So that was that. So one December morning, it was I think December 13th, if I remember the date correctly. I was walking, delivering my letters as I did, and I remember this house. It was right in the kind of between roads. It was on the junction of the roads, and I was about to post the letter through the post, and then something happened, and I started to see images of whales and a girl on a boat, and this whole story was just downloaded in that one moment. It was like, I didn't know anything about shamanism or consciousness or anything. I was just a yoga teacher at that point, didn't know much, and I just got this whole download of the story, but more so of the feeling of sacrifice, of love, that love always wins, love is always the answer. So I got this story downloaded into into my being,
Wow.
and I ran to the van. And at the time, you always have a buddy that you're working with when you're working with Royal Mail. So I ran to Barry and I said, Barry, I'm gonna write a book. And Barry was like, okay, sure. I was like, yeah, there was a dolphin and a whale and then a girl and her name was Volina and da 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 da. Da. And he was like, I just saw you 5 minutes ago. Did you make this up in 5 minutes? I was like, no, it came to me.
That's
So
amazing.
I wrote a book, and it's called Beneath the Surface of Light, and it's all about how there are deeper layers to everything, and we must look into the meaning of everything in life, because the signs are everywhere. There are coincidences that are not coincidences, there are synchronicities, and there are guides. And so when I wrote the book, I wanted to teach spiritual fiction. Not spiritual fiction. I wanted to teach spiritual lessons via fiction, so that the average reader that knows nothing about reincarnation, soul masters, soul lessons, nothing of this kind, would pick up the book thinking they're just, here for another fiction story, and hopefully get inspired and hopefully dig a little bit deeper into their soul.
Wow. That I just love that story so much. And I have read your book, so I read it, and it is a complete incredible like journey. It's like a shamanic journey. The whole thing is a shamanic journey. And like the fact that it just dropped in for you and that you received it, most importantly, and that you heard it and off you went and you wrote it. I'm so glad you recorded it. It's extra, but it feels like when I read it, when I read the book, it felt real. Like
Mm.
obviously I live in these kind of worlds, but it didn't feel like fantasy. It was like it feels like this has actually happened.
Yes,
Whatever
I'm
that
getting goosebumps.
means.
I know it has. I know
So
it has happened.
highly recommend the book to everybody. So
Thank you. And what about you? Tell me something that I don't know.
surprising about me. Well, the thought that came into my head around that is something that I find quite sweet and funny. My mum tells me this story all the time, which is that, so first of all, I'm bilingual, Italian English. So for a lot of bilingual kids, they take a long time to start to talk. And by the way, Einstein started talking at age 4. So, it's quite common if you're a genius to start talking quite late. So I started talking late in terms of the official languages, I think 3.5. My first language was Italian. I know nobody believes me when I say I'm Italian. They're like, do you actually speak it? I'm like, yes. It was my first language. But actually, before I started speaking conventional languages, I had my own language that my mum called Sabrinese. And it was absolutely consistent. I had consistent words for consistent objects. Like she knew what I was talking about. It wasn't just a blah, blah, blah made up language. And so I think that's so cute. And whenever I remember that now in the latter years of my life, I'm like, I was probably speaking light language. Like I was probably
Yeah.
speaking the language from my Palladian ancestors, from the Pallades or whatever. So I just think that's so cute. I really
Do
like
you
that.
remember any words, or does she remember
She
any words?
remembers only one word that she tells me, which is jubala, which meant chair. So I'm sitting on a jubala right now.
Wow, that's incredible.
Well, I mean, it's a bit ridiculous, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to take your incredible word. Yes, it's not ridiculous. It's great. I love it personally. I love the fact when we're kids like that, before we've been conditioned, we just feel this complete freedom to just do whatever we want. Like my mom's theory was like, I was hearing all these different languages, so I just assumed that everyone spoke their own language and everyone was just supposed to come up with their own language. So I just did. And you know, we we just forget to just do whatever, that we can create whatever we want. You know, we get so like conditioned in these ways of being. But if you think about it, when we come in, we're like this blank slate. So I like thinking of that part of me and remembering her and thinking. I also like tied my shoelaces completely differently from any other person or child. So you know, I clearly like to do things my way.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you, Maya. So I'm curious if, Deborah, you're still with us live, and don't worry if you're not, but feel free to ask us any questions as we go along if you want us to expand on anything. So we said that we were going to talk about a bunch of topics. We did a poll. I'm curious if you double checked, Maya, I haven't yet, if there's been any updates on the poll, but we can just dive in to what we said, what we noticed were the top
I can
votes.
recheck it.
I can see it now, actually, yeah. It's
Yeah,
still, so the majority wanted calling in your dream clients as a topic and having a body full of energy and vitality. Yeah, so nothing has changed. It's still those two.
amazing.
Which I thought that was quite cool, actually, that that's what people wanted to hear about, because those are both topics that I love talking about. So where do you want to start, Maya, on this? Do you have anyone that's calling you right now?
Um, Maybe let's just start with the calling in dream clients. I think there's a lot of retreat leaders in this group. This is, I guess, one of the reasons why the group exists, so we can actually connect to the women that are our dream clients, and we are their dream facilitators, right?
True, true, absolutely. And the clients are looking at for the right thing for them. Getting a yawn on that. And
Yeah,
not only retreats, I guess there's lots of different facilitators of the healing arts, and that have a business or want to have a business and are struggling with this issue.
yeah, absolutely.
So what's been your experience in this regard, Maya?
So the thing that I really learned with my dolphin retreats, when I was doing my first dolphin retreat back in 2023, I found it incredibly hard to attract the right people, because number one, I was selling something that is so magical most of us can't even comprehend, and number two, I wasn't there myself to experience it. So I was essentially selling a retreat that I full-heartedly believed in and I knew was going to be life-changing. But I didn't have the reviews, I didn't have the testimonials, the pictures. So it was a struggle. Um, and I know how difficult and frustrating that can be when you have a vision and when you fully trust that what you're creating is life changing, but you can't reach the right people. Getting a yawn on that. And I guess everything started to shift when I started to change my mindset from, okay, I have to, sell, to I just have to spread the word about what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is life changing and it's amazing, and I am doing humanity a a big disservice if I'm not talking about it. I had a lot of what's the word, like I felt like I was, for the 50th time I'm telling people that dolphins will change your life. They're like, oh my god, she keeps saying the same things, like, go away. I felt like that. I felt like, I'm like a broken record. Like, how many times can I tell you that this is going to change your life? And so I had a moment where it was like, okay, I'm either going to fully believe in what I'm doing and I'm just going to sing about it and shout about it. And those that want to hear it, they will. And it will resonate with them. And they will be so grateful that they found me. And then those that think that, you know, what I'm talking about is crazy and they want to go to the mountains and feel the earth and they don't want to swim with dolphins, that's okay. They're not my ideal clients. They will go and find their their retreat, right? And so it was last year that I was attending a Mind Body Spirit festival in Cyprus, and I made it a challenge to wear a t-shirt that had at the back of it, join my dolphin retreat. So I went to this festival with, you know, hundreds of people, and I was like, I'm owning this. You know, I know what I'm doing is amazing. I know what I'm providing people the opportunity to experience what they could experience with me and with the dolphins is is worth it. It's like if I wasn't saying, um, if I wasn't spreading the
Shouting
word,
it from the
yeah,
rooftops. Yeah.
then it was like, well, you're not doing your bloody job on earth, Maya. Like, what are you doing? Why are you slacking? There is no time. There wasn't any time for me to be like shy about it. You know, once I
Yeah.
saw that
Yeah.
lives were being changed, it was like, okay, like I can't keep it to myself anymore. I have to share it out. So I think like the number one advice I would give for anybody, you know, that has an amazing retreat that they truly believe in, and that you don't hold back, you know, that you are bold with what you're offering, that you're not afraid to sell. And don't like that word sell, but you're not selling like Amazon boxes or like Amazon silly things that you don't actually need, right? We are not, you know, salespeople in that way. We are just messengers, I guess, right?
You're
We're
offering,
spreading.
yeah, you're offering a sacred service. You're offering all your hours and years of experience and practice and everything you've put together. You're offering your heart.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to you, I'm talking to anyone who's offering a sacred service, you know, something that they're, I think that's probably why it's so hard sometimes to sell things that come from our hearts.
Mm,
It's probably it's almost easier. Like if I had to sell you this glasses case, that would be easier for me probably to do than something that's like really personal, that
yeah.
is part of who I am. Because I think that's why so many of us in these healing arts have this fear of rejection, because it's actually our services are an extension of our
Absolutely.
essence, of our energy. So I think that's why being a spiritual conscious entrepreneur brings us really close to our wounds and really close to our fears and really close to our imposter syndrome
Mm,
worries, because it's actually shining a light. It's a bit like in a being in an intimate relationship, it shines a light on all your shit. Having a conscious business shines a light on all your shit in a very similar way. And so when you're putting yourself out there, all that stuff comes up. So it's completely normal, by the way, to have
yeah.
experiences of doubt and fear and all that. Sorry, I jumped in there.
No, that's fine. I was kind of, you know, ending anyway. But yeah, I mean, what I'm sharing, what you guys are creating out there, it comes from your heart, you know. So don't ever feel like what you're offering is not good enough or what you're offering is not wanted in the world. You know, you channeled the idea, you put in the work, you poured your heart into it. So, you know, spread the word, you know, make sure that others know about it, because if you're not doing that, if you're not fully owning it and you're not fully believing in what you're doing, then others will not fully believe in it either, right? And we were discussing this before, Sabrina, about, you know, be yourself so that your tribe can find you.
Yes.
And you when you're talking about your retreat, just be yourself. It's a little bit like what me and you are doing here on this live, not scripted. We are just being ourselves, and the people that are you're getting a yawn.
I'm
The people that are
sitting
meant
here
to
yawning. I mean, I can't be more me than that.
yeah, the people that are meant to find us, they will find us and they will resonate with this because we are being our authentic selves. So this is how you attract your ideal client. If you're pretending to be someone you're not, or you're trying to be somebody you're not, then you're going to attract someone that's not ideal for you. And that's
Yes.
when trouble starts.
Yes. And by the way, those experiences are also part of our learning. So if that
Yeah.
happens, know that that's normal. It's part of the journey. I often find that part of discovering who we actually are is actually through these processes of, in a way, trial and error, and then contrast. And then when we have these kind of experiences that are challenging with people that can feel challenging, or like they don't recognize us and who we are and our worth and the worth of what we're offering, that triggers a lot of pain. But when we use these opportunities for healing and transformation, we can actually then, because how do we get to that point of what you've just said? How do we get to the point of fully believing in what we're doing? I mean, part of it's just spending time mastering our craft and like having opportunities to offer our services, even if it's not on a retreat yet, like a small workshop, a group, something, a way that we can start like practicing what we do. But for those of us who are experienced and we've learned how to do things and we've had enough experience to know, to have feedback from clients, right? Okay, on that. It's like, for me, should I just jump in, by the way,
Yeah,
Maya? Should I go with
jump in.
where this is
Oh,
taken? For
good.
me, it's been about facing and looking at what are those limiting beliefs, what are those fears, and then using my healing methodology to like find out. And usually in my experience, when we are in these healing arts, we've done this for many lifetimes. We have very typically wounds from the past lives around whether or not it's safe to be seen, because we used to do a lot of this for many millennia. We did this in secret, this kind of stuff. They were mystery schools. We didn't want to be seen by the establishment. We would have been persecuted. We would have been witch hunted. We would have been burnt at the stake. We would have got ourselves or our loved ones into trouble, all sorts of things like that. We would have had to survive, maybe sometimes by snitching on a fellow sister. Like there's so many different sisterhood wounds, and not just women to women, but all in different realms as well, and different genders. And so I don't think you can be on this path without at some point confronting and healing those kind of wounds as well. So there's that to be said. So I think understanding that that's part of the process. I always like to say what's in the way is the way. So when we think, oh, why isn't this working? Why is nobody seeing my stuff? Why is nobody coming to me? Why am I not getting the clients? Okay, what is the mirror that the world out there is trying to show us of what is out of alignment in our energy field, in our grid, in our information, in our memories, in our aura? I always think like what's out there is reflecting our energy, right? So instead of then feeling bad about it and blaming yourself, get curious, because that's gold. That means that information is up and it wants to be seen, and there's an opportunity to alchemize it. Like, and there's tools that we can share, that we share on, on the retreat that we're going to be doing together, that massively like catapult you in terms of like clearing certain things and activating you to feeling in your energy, in your power, and safe to be there, most importantly, because a lot of the time we do stuff, but then we can't sustain it because ultimately there's still that energy of it's not safe. There's still that old imprint, there's still that old memory echoing in our cells, even if we have no conscious memory of it. So I always find that like whatever's going on in your business is actually, if you know how to decode it and transform it without having to spend years doing that, there's tools that can help you turn it around. And in my experience, that's way more effective. And actually, in my experience, it's the only thing that's effective, actually. So whenever I've like in the past, my early days of doing online business, when I worked with coaches or whatever, marketing this, marketing that, these and that techniques, none of that stuff ever appealed to me, because my path, and I'm not saying if it works for you, great, do it. But if it doesn't, then, heed these words, because they might resonate for you. For me, it's because I know that I came here on this planet to do things differently. Oh,
Facebook agrees.
that's the Facebook yawn. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So I came to this planet to do things differently, or rather not do. So part of my gifts have been about learning how to shift my energy and create a different reality through that, and not through the force of doing. Part of that is just my natural genius, my human design, other aspects of me. And so the easiest and the path of least resistance way of manifesting and creating anything, whether it's clients, whether it's health, all the things that people have clicked at, I want to know more on that list. Actually, when you learn how to shift your energetic frequency, the information that's in your energetic grid, everything on the outside then aligns, rather than trying to go out there and change things on the outside, hoping that that's going to make you feel better, hoping that that's going to make you feel peace. If only I get more clients, I will then feel good about myself. No, it starts from connecting
Yeah.
with me feeling good about myself, and the clients show up because they are an aspect of you. They are simply
Can
an aspect of you.
I just want to add on that and you can continue because
Yes.
I have real life examples of when that
Mm.
happens. You know, when I'm at home and I'm writing my newsletters and writing my Instagram content and doing my Facebook ads, da da da, da, like I get no bookings, nothing happens. And then I'm like, okay, let me go on a silent retreat, or oh, let me go and just like take 2 days off, go to the spa, let me go on a little trip. And I let go of all of that, and I'm just having fun, and I'm just being me, and I'm starting to vibrate at that frequency of love and freedom and having fun and life being easy and joyful and fulfilling. That vibration, that frequency goes out there, and then I become a vibrational match for that ideal client. And in that way, I don't chase, I attract,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
and that's a big
Yes.
big change, I think, right? When you get to that
Yes.
stage.
It's amazing to have those experiences, direct experiences. And then the more you have them, the more you start realizing it's not a fluke.
Yes.
Now, of course, we still are conditioned, we still have our egos, we still live in a society that's mainly assuming that we need to do things to get to an outcome. And so,
Yeah.
and we're, social media, my feed is full of people trying to tell me all the clever things I should or shouldn't be doing, even with energetics. It's like there's a constant underlying message in the marketing that somehow what I'm doing is not good enough, or who I am is not good enough. So it's very easy to get sucked into, oh no, I'm not good enough, or I don't know this, or I don't know that. All these other people are ahead of me and I'm not there yet. And you and I were having this conversation earlier when we were looking at the human design chart, and we're not going to go into the details because we don't have time today, but just to say that if you have an open will center in human design, you will be particularly vulnerable to what I've just said, and to sort of taking your sense of worth from the outside. And don't worry if you don't know what an open will center in human design is, or what human design is at all, because if you just recognize what I'm saying as one of your things, just know that you're not alone. But May you on agrees, you're not alone. And so when you said I don't chase, I attract, I wanted to jump on that frequency because that is the mermaid frequency. That's the siren. That's the I'm just sitting here in my spa, in my relaxation, with Maya on Facebook, having a cup of tea, magnetizing things to me, but I'm not trying to magnetize. I am just singing my song. I mean, this is the kind of siren that we want to talk about. We don't want to talk about the manipulative siren. That's not what we're connecting with the energy of magic, of the mermaid, of magic, of fun, of whimsy, of believing miracles are real, of how we were as kids, when for us as kids, of course mermaids are real. Of course unicorns are real. Of course dragons are real. Like, we make believe and then we like grow up. Well, fuck that. Let's grow down instead of up. I don't know. Let's reconnect with with how we felt when we believed in magic, because when you believe in magic, magic happens.
Oh, I got tingles. Yes. And that's what the dolphins really taught me, actually. You know, before the dolphins, life was boring. It was predictable.
But it's certainly not predictable now. So you managed to, that wish was granted. There's probably bits of you that wish things could be a bit more predictable.
You know what? Like there are never moments where I wish things could go back to normal, or I wish I could unsee and unfeel what I experienced with the dolphins, you know? They changed my life so much. They changed who I am, and I always say there's like this Maya before the dolphins, and then there's Maya after the dolphins, and I love the Maya after the dolphins. It's
Well, I
Yeah.
think that the Maya after the dolphins is the Maya from many lifetimes and many eons. So you've been doing it for a very long time, I think, personally. You can contradict me if you don't agree. So the window of time of Maya without dolphins is actually tiny in the speck of universal time.
I managed 27 years without them in this lifetime, and here
I
I
don't know
am
how
back again.
you did that. My God, it's a miracle. You're still alive. You survived
Actually, you know
27
what's
years.
really interesting? It was around my Saturn return that I went to Satya. Oh my God, I'm crying. What is this day?
Oh, I love it. I love that you're crying. So we were crying. I was crying earlier, everybody, on live stream, and then I talked to Maya, and then I said I was crying then, and Maya's crying now. So may you all receive the tears transmission.
Are you crying
Well,
too now?
my eyes water when I yawn. I'm not actually crying right now. But luckily I don't wear
Oh
eye makeup.
dear.
There's no way I could wear eye makeup with my life. So I'm curious, when you watch this, people, share your
Yes,
thoughts or feelings as we go,
as we
and
cry.
as we cry.
These are happy tears, you know. When I'm in Satya, I cry all the time. The first two trips, I was crying like every day. People were like, "Why is she crying? She's the facilitator." I was like, "The dolphins, they do this to me. I can't help
Well,
it."
that's why I started crying today, is because I was watching your video of the dolphins in Sataya, and in a second I'm going to ask you what is Sataya so people can know what we're talking about. And so I just immediately started crying. I felt the energy in the transmission in your video, which I'm sure was a mixture of a large part the dolphin energy, but a large part your beautiful heart and your connection to them. And I tapped into it and I was like, and I went there in October, so I've literally physically been there too. And I just reconnected with those dolphins. That's what it felt like. But it was like an embodied, shamanic, I'm literally there right now reconnection, because I've just been in a heart opened, blissful state, as if I'd taken some incredible psychedelic drug all day long, is how I've been feeling. And like, even when we're having all this problem getting on live, I'm so chill. Like, literally, it's like, whatever. It's like, I've been feeling so great. And part of my human just wants to feel like this forever. And I know I'll have ups and downs still. But every time I have these expanded experiences in life, they get deeper and deeper. And to realize that the dolphins take us deeper, quicker,
Mm.
is such a gift. And it happens, obviously, like on steroids, if you're actually physically there in person. Like, nothing is a substitute for that. Like, we're giving you little flavors and tasters because we want to share this frequency with the world, but it's not the same as being there in person. However, we're doing the best we can to sort of drop the codes in. Do you want to say a few words about Satya? What is Satya? Where is Satya?
Yeah, sure. So, Satya, I'll start with the logistical things. So, Satya is it's a 5 kilometer long coral reef. It's in the shape of a horseshoe, and it's located about 2.5 hours away from land in the middle of the Red Sea. So it's a protected area, which means that although we are in the middle of the Red Sea, the water is very still. It almost feels like you're on a river because the boats, the yachts that we stay on, okay, it moves because we are in the water, but it moves very little.
I never felt
You
it
don't feel
moving, actually.
it. Yeah. So that's what, satire is, if you Google what satire is. But satire is much more than that. Satire is a queen. It's a portal that exists outside of time and space. You quantum jump in satire like every day. The week that we are there feels like at least 6 months, at least for me. Um, Time is stretched. Um, it's a portal where the dolphins come. So let me go back to the dolphins. It's a place where the dolphins come to every single day, And I've been trying to work out with my mind at first, why are the dolphins here? Is it because the water is so shallow here and so pleasant and so calm? Or do they feel the energy of Satya and they are there to guard the portal that Satya is? And I think it's the second one.
Both, yes.
So Satya, you always know the moment that you enter Satya, and you know when you leave Satya. You feel a shift in your body, in your frequency, that moment that you are in that zone of Satya. And Satya becomes you, you become her. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot describe what Satya is. You feel it, you just feel it.
I think you can feel it now. I can feel it now. I wonder if people can feel it when they watch this. Yeah, I think that was part of what I was feeling when I was crying earlier. And I remember when we were swimming around the coral reef at the retreat when I was there in October, when we had like an extended snorkeling around the reef, I was sobbing. That I really connected in with, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like a truly heart-opening experience. And then when we add to that the fact that we do cacao ceremonies and all sorts of shamanic things to work with our heart frequency, it's like
Yes.
it's like, to be fair, we're kind of like expanding in all possible directions with all possible aspects of ourselves and of the dolphins and of Satire.
Absolutely. And I think, I say it time and again, we do massive transformational work on the boat, and there's a lots of releases of all the shit that we don't need to carry into our next level of vibration. And then when you combine that with the dolphins and what they teach us and the healing that they do and the wisdom that they pass on to us, they teach us to play, they teach us to love, they teach us to enjoy life and have fun. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and we seem to have forgotten that is why we are here. We came here to enjoy and experience, and we make everything so serious. So I think, you could probably just sit on the boat and and swim with the dolphins, and then do one or two things with Sabrina and I, and your life would already change, and would change substantially. And the fact that we are there for a whole week and every day is full of intentionally selected um, workshops and activities that it creates this transformational container that you cannot not change, you cannot not evolve, physically, spiritually. And I know some of you actually wanted us to talk about the having a body that has lots of energy and vitality. So this, I've hosted retreats there. It will be my fifth time this year. So I used to do them by myself. Sabrina is co-hosting this time around, which is super exciting. So imagine I'm on a boat with 16 people, and I'm hosting everything, but I have so much energy because the dolphins feed me with energy. They you cannot be tired out there. I don't know. They feed you constantly with this zest for life. So you can sleep 4 hours a day and then you still have energy to do yoga at 6 a.m. at sunrise. I don't know how it happens, but it happens.
Oh, I was yawning throughout that whole thing. And just a reminder for anyone joining late that I'm not really rude and sleepy and yawning in Maya's face. This is my body saying yes to everything she's saying. And I just feel it so strongly. And it's a transmission. I think when you're talking about this, when we're talking about this, it's a transmission. So yes, let's talk more about having a body full of energy and vitality. And perhaps I can share a little bit about my journey.
Yeah, that would be great.
This has been my number one mission in my entire life this time around, probably many times around, but let's focus on this one for now. My whole life, I have had this desire and this wish, and I've worked towards having a body full of energy and vitality, because I got very, very sick when I was 17. My whole body collapsed. I couldn't walk. I was very ill. And that was my first shamanic initiation this lifetime of, you know, becoming sick so that I could learn how to heal and how to heal myself. And I tried every possible alternative holistic thing under the sun. And, you know, I eventually had to find my own path, because for a long time, everything I did was just me managing the situation, but it wasn't me really healing at the roots. And the thing that really started healing me at the roots was energy work and shamanic work. Everything else, you know, nutrition, body work, stuff like that, was kind of helping me cope and manage, but it wasn't really getting to the root. So for me, my personal story was always going to like the energetic roots. And that's because I realized now I had to learn through my own body as my best case study, because that's what was going to trigger me into becoming the practitioner that I am. Because in a way, nobody could really help me. So I had to figure out how to help myself. And so when I say nobody really helped me, I'm not saying I didn't get help from people, but it was never quite getting to where, you know, I had to sort of get what I could from everywhere I went. But in the end, I had to sort of find my own way. And that's the shaman's journey. That's the heroine's journey. And so again, if we're here, somebody's here listening to us, chances are they're probably similar to us in some way. And so you might have to also just trust your own journey with where your body takes you. Like, I feel like our body is our teacher, is our messenger. And for many of us, I remember when I first got sick, is when I first started thinking that those of us that were getting a lot of chronic illnesses, like chronic fatigue and autoimmune stuff, which kind of exploded during my generation, that it was kind of related to us being the canaries in the mines. I don't know if you've heard that expression, but like they used to put canaries, horrible, really, canaries in mines, because they were the first ones that could alert miners to some kind of smell or something that meant the mine was about to, you know, explode or whatever. So there's a very dark image, but meaning that we were kind of like the ones like registering some things off balance here. And often people who are sick are seen as there's something wrong with them, right? They haven't figured out how to be healthy. But actually, my view, because a lot of the clients have come to me over my career, have been an aspect of me. And they have been somewhere on their health journey. And a lot of them have had health issues or some issue to do with their energy in some way or another. Even if they didn't have a clear diagnosis, it was always something to do with struggling with their energy and their power, and also often autoimmune type stuff. So that's always been my passion, mainly because I was trying to heal that in myself. And it's multi-layered. So for me, it's not one cause, like there's lots of things. But from a spiritual perspective, it is about whether or not we feel safe to be in our power. And it is often, I feel, linked to the collective transformations we're going on in the planet. So for many of my clients, they end up getting entangled with the energy of the planet and the energy of the collective when there's these times of great change. And we can struggle to have clear energetic boundaries with that. And sometimes it's because of our trauma histories where we didn't have boundaries with our caregivers, and we're empathic and we're open-hearted, and so a lot of us in the space can struggle with those kind of issues. But sometimes it's because we actually are connected to we know we're connected to the planet in ways that other people that are dissociated do not. And so in a way, we're kind of feeling the true impact of things, and somebody's got to feel it. But I also, again, there's so many different factors here, but looking at how we can be of service, but without the old wounded healer self-sacrifice idea necessarily, if we don't wish to have that anymore, of having to suffer or having to take on the pain of other people, whether we did that in past lives, whether we did it in our childhood, in this life with parents that and siblings that were struggling. I'd love to know how many people watching this. If you want to put your hand up in the comments below when you watch the replay, please let us know. Are you one of those kids that would take on the pain around you? I'm really curious to see the sample of people that say yes to that question in this group. I would bet money on it that there's a lot that will say yes. And so the impact of that can be different for different people, but for some of us, it shows up as health issues. For some of us, this links with not calling in our dream clients, actually, because if we spent a lifetime looking after other people's needs, We may think we want a business helping others, but there's going to be child parts of us that say, no, I don't want all these people in my field. I don't want to attract all this attention. They're all going to need me. I can't cope with this. I don't have the capacity. So how many people watching this do you suspect inside you might have something like that going on? Please put your hand up, say something in the comments. Again, I'm curious to see the sample. These are the themes I've had to do deep work in myself, and over in a way, because I've had to dig deeper with different parts of me at different ages, and why they would pop up every time I was ready to explode in my business. Every time I suddenly felt better physically, something would show up, a part of me would show up, a belief would show up that would say, nope, not safe. And the other piece of that is, if you're not fully here in your body because you're a channel, you don't know how to stay in your body, that depletes your energy. You go off to all sorts of dimensions, you don't know how to also stay or come back fully here and embody your body at the same time. That's a big one. And if you're sensitive to what's going on the planet and you haven't learned to stay in your power whilst all this stuff is going on around you, then I have found that our body goes into an autoimmune reaction because it's a threat-based response, because it's feeling that energy just like it would feel the same thing if it was a pathogen. The immune system goes into high alert. So that's been a big part for me of healing my autoimmune stuff. I had endometriosis, adenomyosis, thyroid issues, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. I had lots of things like that. I am now buzzing with energy right now, and it's not been a straightforward path. It's not been linear. I've gone through these different phases of expanding, oop, collapse, expanding, oop, collapse. All the things I just shared are part of why that may happen, and other things for sure as well. Oh. And we can heal that.
I could listen to you forever, and listening to you yawn forever. I love it.
Does that make sense, Maya?
It
To you,
makes
what I'm
great
saying?
sense. Yes, I really resonate with what you're saying, and all I'm going to add, because you've spoken about this so beautifully, is for me and my own energy levels. I notice that when I am misaligned, meaning I am with the wrong person, the wrong friends, the wrong partner, um, in the wrong job, or living in the wrong place, whatever it is, that's not in alignment with me, where I'm supposed to be right now at this time and space, um, my energy levels will go down. I will start to get sick. I used to suffer with, and it's not as bad, I guess, as what you've described, but I used to have very bad throat infections. Um, to the point where it was like, here I am about to do a retreat and I'm losing my voice. And it was because I wasn't speaking up for myself. So I would allow people around me to tell me what I should say or who I should be, because I didn't have trust in who I am. I didn't really fully embrace myself and all that I am and all that I am not. And then that manifested as, yeah, if you're not going to speak, then, well, we're going to block your throat because you're not using it anyway. So I started to pay attention to, okay, I don't feel so good physically when I'm here, but I feel better when I'm there. Or after this interaction with this friend, I need a nap. But when I'm with this person, when I'm with Sabrina, I can talk to her for 4 hours straight, and then I can't sleep at night because I'm so buzzed.
That's a little side effect of hanging out together. Yeah, I've experienced the same problem.
So yeah, I guess that's all I'm gonna add there. Just, pay attention to your body, listen to the signs, and experiment. Don't just go with the first thing that your uh doctor suggests. The first, experiment. See what works for you, because you are an individual, beautiful human being. Um, and you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have a life full of energy and vitality so that you can go after what you love and do what you came here to do.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that's happening a lot at the moment as well that I want to add to that is there's been incredibly intensified rates of solar flares and a lot of like activity energetically affecting our planet that I think is also affecting many people, because I've seen like there's clearly times when that's very high that a lot of my friends and colleagues and clients tend to feel sick. There's been a big spate of that recently, so I'm just mentioning that just to say there's times when we also just have to rest, and our bodies are trying to tell us to stop being so active and doing, because we're integrating powerful upgrades and energies. But also what this kind of stuff led me to do, and sort of I become a bit of a detective when these things happen, is figure out, okay, how do we upgrade our DNA? How do we upgrade our grids? How do we upgrade our physical bodies to be able to manage but like that one, to be able to manage these higher frequency energies, because I believe we're really evolving to a higher frequency collectively, and our bodies are having to realign to this. So on the one hand, we kind of need a lot of rest and integration, but it's also possible that something gets stuck, and that was happening to me end of December, beginning of January. I'm mentioning this because after doing a bunch of energy work, and every time I go through these things, I learn more. I learn more through my skin. I learn more with every client session I have. Every time I have a session with someone, something like this comes through. And the result of the work I did over like 3 weeks in January is that I am literally buzzing with so much energy now, more than I've ever had in my entire life. So do not give up, and do not just assume that you have to settle with low energy, because it is possible to completely transform that. The upgrades are continuing to happen. The collective is in chaos a lot of the time. The solar flares haven't stopped, but I feel amazing. So I'm just sharing this to say that it's possible. Now, I don't want to share this to make people feel bad, envy, FOMO, frustration, jealousy, or why am I not feeling that way? It's been a very, very hard path, a very, very hard path for me to get to this point. And a lot of that has been dealing with giving myself permission to feel good. Can do all the energy work and healing in the world, and then it doesn't stick. Why? Get curious if that's happening for you. For me, there were parts that were like, I'm not allowed. It's going to be really bad if I feel good. Like some really bad things are going to happen. What was the other one? I felt like, if I feel good, the more I feel good, the more I have to give. Like, linked to what you were saying with the throat, Maya, I think this is very, very important for women, and this is a group for women, so let's talk about this. We have been conditioned to not say no. And so there's a very famous book by Gabor Mate, which is When the Body Says No, which is amazing, and it collects all this research about, from his perspective, autoimmune disorders come from not saying no. And so not just autoimmune disorders, right? So many different physical stuff. So when we haven't been able to say no, our body does it for us. And so that was my case for so much of my life, and it's unconscious. It's not enough for me to logically know that my body has another agenda. It's not enough to say to the body, oh, stop doing that. At least it wasn't for me. So I had to like dig deep into the energy work to like go to where that's encoded. So yeah, there's so many like different psychological aspects to this that can then affect the physical. It affects our liver's ability to detox from toxins, because we also are full of lots of toxins we never used to have before. There's physical reasons why you get sick. I'm not just saying it's all in your head. Let's be clear about that. But what I'm talking about being able to be in our power or not is a defining feature about what shamans say is about the most important thing you want to be is power filled. When you're power filled, your organs work, your system works, they can detox, they can clear things. This is why two people can have the same terrible diet and one person feel fine and the other feel shit. That and genetic factors and all sorts, and we can change our genes with energy work, just FYI. Gosh, I could really do a whole podcast on this topic. Clearly, I'm quite passionate. I'd love to hear some questions from anyone that have them. I don't know if the person watching us is there or not, but please do ask a question or a comment if there's anything you want us to tune in that's relevant for you. Are you good for time at the moment, Maya?
I'll probably need to go in about 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. What what exciting thing are you going to, or you're not allowed to tell us? You don't have to if it's private.
No, no, no. Oh no, I'm going to high heels.
I
That's
thought you might. So can I just say, one of the things that's happening with the fact that we called in this retreat that's all about activating the sensual feminine, yay, Francis is still here, is that Maya, so since we've been channeling this retreat and launching it, Maya's just gone wild and she's so in touch with her sensual self. I cannot wait to see what happens by the time we get to June. We're all going to be sensual, sexy vixen sirens on this boat. She's doing all these sexy dancing classes.
Yes, it's very strange and very unlike me. And when I first went to the high heels lesson, I was just standing at the back of the room feeling so uncomfortable because, you know, everyone there was actually wearing heels. I still didn't even buy my heels. So there I am just in my socks. And everyone's like doing all the sexy moves. And I'm just there like, okay, I'm just gonna be me and do my thing. I don't care. And yeah, I don't know where all of that came from. It must be because we are getting ready for our mermaid retreat.
Yeah, so the codes are coming in and it's
Yeah.
already changing us. Because we're going to be holding a container, I think, together, Maya, that's going to bring in some special energies and frequencies. So I think we're being transformed already before we even got there. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what unfolds over the next few months.
Me too. Can't wait.
So Francis says she doesn't have any questions. I hope this was interesting or useful for you, Francis. And everyone watching the replay, please engage so that this video can be seen in the group. Let's get these words visible to anyone who needs to hear them today. The more you engage in this group, through likes, through comments, with any posts that you see, the more we can all connect more in this space. So that would be my one wish and request. Francis says, thank you, super useful, amazing. Francis is an amazing tango dancer and teacher. I don't know if you still teach tango, but that's how Francis and I met. Well, actually, Francis and I met at a Buddhist center when we were both doing meditation back in 2000 in London. Oh my God. But
Wow.
Francis is also an amazing salsa dance teacher at the time and taught my friends and I salsa. I can't forget that memory. It was the most incredible lesson we ever had. It was the most beautiful. It would be
I
so
would love
amazing.
Francis to come to the mermaid retreat and teach us a salsa class.
Yes. Oh my God, Francis, consider it. Please let us know if you'd like to come.
That would
Francis
be
says, long
amazing.
time ago. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It was like another lifetime, right? And I'm so glad we've stayed connected all these years. Francis has done a lot of my healing work in my groups as well. But and now you've moved close to me. We need to meet up in person. But yeah, dance is such an important part of healing. We're definitely going to be dancing on that boat.
Yes, that's for sure.
Dancing and singing and being alive. That's another way to have a body full of energy and vitality. It's not just about healing old wounds. It's also about when we get into that frequency of music and sound and dance.
And we are going to talk a little bit more about all of that next Tuesday, right? Tuesday the 11th in the evening.
Oh, yes. We're going to talk about the retreat. And we kind of already started talking about the retreat today. That wasn't part of the plan.
It wasn't, and it just floated
just
there,
came
but
out.
we'll talk about yeah,
Well, it'll
dancing
be a
and
proper. We'll answer any questions for people that are interested. So if you're kind of like tempted, interested, but not sure if it's for you, you'll be able to come to that live stream on Tuesday. It's in the events posted in the featured events in the group. Hopefully, we'll have mastered doing live streams by then.
we should do, yes.
And yeah, come with your questions and curiosities. And there are going to be some giveaways that we're going to give away to people who come live. Some juicy giveaways that we will, mystery giveaways that we'll be offering.
Yes, so make sure you're there on the Tuesday to enter the giveaway and to win some awesome prizes.
Yes. It is Tuesday at, let me tell you exactly, at 7:30 p.m. UK time. And on Friday this week, we have have another thing at 7:30 UK time, which is a beautiful journey with the dolphins and a mermaid journey and a meditation and a healing that is gonna give you that amazing, blissful, hopefully blissful feeling that I've been having all day today. So, okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Francis, for watching. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sabrina. It's been a joy, and I can't wait to do this again.
Yay! Lots of love, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.